Real science, the Big Bang. Academia is invested in studying the origins of the universe before the Big Bang, using expensive experiments like the Large Hadron Collider. Stephen Hawking proposed that time is a series of cones of events, beginning with the point of each event, and that time-space is not a line. The only way that this can be visualized or imagined is that a singular event becomes many events as time progresses. Events are happenings that take time, and therefore time must be expansion, and this can be expressed mathematically and scientifically. Explosions are the sudden expansion of molecules or atoms that are initiated by detonation caused by shock waves. These waves are electrical energy that disturb the stability of powerful bonds, releasing the force of these bonds. We use detonation in construction industry to demolish unwanted structures, and in weaponry to murder and destroy. One of the stories published on YouTube involves this. That's linked. When shock waves have enough energy, they cause elements into the fourth state of plasma that can be controlled and used when focused. In the 1980s, we were being frightened with stories of terrorists entering planes as suicide bombers and forcing the pilots to land in enemy countries, demanding ransom or political prisoner release. I wrote to the UK government suggesting that passengers should be required to pass through a blast-proof tunnel in which they and their luggage would be subject to shock waves that would detonate any unstable chemicals that they carried. In response to this, I was visited by two men in suits who wanted me to sign a non-disclosure agreement under the Official Secrets Act, indicating that someone knows that this idea is valid. Shock waves produced by nuclear explosions detonate all explosives in range, including bullets, bombs and aviation fuel. So a beam of shock waves directed at a person carrying a gun would be disarmed by all of the bullets going off at once. Weaponized drones and armed aircraft could also be destroyed by beamed shockwaves, and this would make wars unlikely and unprofitable. A CPN student once suggested that shockwaves might be utilized to control corrosion, and I helped him get a university project supported by a non-UK government grant. He started to make progress with his studies, but his work was mysteriously stopped. During my successful visit to Unipay University in Sao Paulo State, Brazil, I was shown plasma cutting and other uses of plasma at one of their research facilities. I discussed the ignition process to produce a variety of plasmas and the potential uses in control of instant corrosion of steel wall, etc. I later inquired about the progress of this research, to be told that the government had stopped support by withdrawing funds. There's another of these stories about the ignition of plasma on YouTube at the link. The problem with the capitalist system has been described by Professor Wolff and can be seen all over the Western world. He failed to mention that weapons are destructive, polluting, and of no benefit to investors or anyone else. So peace is a threat to the capitalist system. When bullets and bombs are used, their value disappears, plus the value of the lives they end and the capital assets they destroy. Science proves that explosions benefit only weapons manufacturers, murderers and financiers, and politicians, of course. Blockchain technology is an open ledger system of accountancy executed by computers that record and time-date stamp transactions dynamically. Any sort of value can be entered into a blockchain and will be accounted and distributed according to the protocol determined by the owners of the blocks.